Okay, good morning. My name is Trada. Can you all hear me? All right. I tend to have a very loud voice, so um, well, welcome to E 201. This is section 05. My name is Trada, as I said. Now, all through this pandemic, I was here on campus every single day. I was teaching live and synchronous. Sometimes my face-to-face classes, lab classes that we offered. So I was with two masks and a face shield. So I'm very comfortable with this. Um, Not this though. With the mask, I'm fine. So I just wanted to make sure everybody can hear me through the two masks. Also happy to report that we didn't, with all the precautions that we took, we didn't have any outbreaks. But again, we did have social distancing within the lab rooms. We had like 6 feet between each student, not as many as students as we now have, right? So that does make a difference. I tend to kind of move around a little bit during class, but because the screen and everything controls are there, so I might tend to like stay in that area. Otherwise, I like to like move around in class. Uh, Apologies for the delay setting up the course website yesterday. One of the first things I like to tell students is that do not begin your assignment until the last minute, right? Now, I've been working on that website for quite a while. There's lots of things that got in the way. I have a hyperactive 3-year-old at home, does not allow me to, spend time on work as much as possible, um, but managed to get it done in time. Now, the website is probably very different from what you're used to, right? But I'll go over through each of the sections, the majority of the sections that you need to learn for this course. So first thing was this introduce yourself link. This is basically like a discussion forum. It's not mandating you to like disclose anything about you that you're not willing to share. Okay, this is basically a way for me to get students in the same classroom to get to know each other a little bit better. Now, this class more so than others has students from wide backgrounds, personally and professionally speaking. We have non-E majors across the College of Engineering, from like mechanical engineering, biomedical, civil, aerospace. I've had industrial engineers take my class. I've also had history majors take my class last year. And so we have, students from all kinds of backgrounds. This right here is just a suggestion, like, you post your favorite books, movies, hobbies, and the point and the hope is that you might meet someone else who might be like you, right? You might have share the same interests in books, you might share the same interests in movies, might share the same interests in like TV shows, what have you. So only share what you're comfortable with, and it's a discussion forum that's only worth about 10 points. Would only take you 5 minutes of your time. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. It's not optional. It's not going to be dropped, but again, it's worth 10 points. So it's just a way for every one of us to get to know each other. And then, of course, I also see students who are, most students have uploaded the green pass. If you have not already done so, or if you don't have a green pass yet. Oh, green pass, by the way, again, apologies. That's just what I call the green smiley face of the campus pass. And so that's the green pass. So I apologize if it caused any confusion. Yes. Well, at least before class. At least before class. So if you have a morning class, like if you have an 8 a.m. class and you don't get to it, it's fine. There's a deadline, there's a time limit on there, but as long as you get it done before class, so I can, just check through it, it's fine. Now, standing at the door, making everyone, so we've been told that it might cause privacy issues because you hold up the phone like this, and then other students might be able to see your name or any other information. Well, with my bad eyes, I can't see like what's written over here anyway if I'm standing far away. So this is just easier for me on Canvas. It's just easier, and I would encourage you to do the same like for all your classes also, because we will be like this in this mode for like the foreseeable future, at least for the this entire academic year, right? And so if you get in the habit, like every class is going to have like different rules and regulations. So your professor might have different. Some professors might ask you to show it at the door. Some professors might say, hey, come in, take a seat, and then just hold up your phone so I can just take a look like that. That's what I used to do for the lab classes. For the lab classes, I only had 18 students, so it was slightly easier for me to actually go around the room and actually take everything. But now we're like 36 students in a class, Canvas uploading, it just makes it easier. So I would encourage you, or I would strongly recommend that the first thing in the morning when you wake up, you do the self screening and be honest about it. Like, if you're feeling, feeling slightly sick, or you think you might have a temperature, or you don't feel well, don't come to class. I don't want what you have, and no one else does either, right? So if I'm sick, I'm going to stay at home. If you're sick, you stay at home, whether it's for COVID or whether it's for any other reason. I will make sure that your learning does not suffer. Okay. And the way I do this is I have designed this course with UDL principles. UDL stands for Universal Design for Learning. It basically just means, well, simply stated, it means that I'm going to, well, I'm not going to, I use a wide variety of techniques and learning strategies, technologies to address a wide range of student learning styles, breadth and width. So the basic learner to the advanced. Okay, the course is structured with UDL principles. We are not required to offer multiple modalities, but I'm doing so. I don't think they prohibit us, and even if they do, I'm not going to tell anyone. I hope you don't either. So right now, the reason I have the headset is because if I'm moving around, this microphone's only on the desk there. It's not going to capture it. I'm broadcasting live, well, broadcasting on Zoom, not to the wide internet. There's only me on there. Now, the Zoom option serves two purposes. If students need to be absent for some reason, whether it's medical excuse, whether it's conference, whether you're traveling for an athletic event, any sort of university recognized excuse is fine. But if you're just woken in the morning and it's too late for you to come to class or something like that, and you just want to stay at home and do Zoom, that's not what that's for. Okay, the Zoom option is there only for students who need or have an excuse to be absent. All right. So in one of the previous classes, the student said that they might be traveling, and if they're traveling, can they log on to Zoom? And said, okay, that's fine. That's what it's for. Out of necessity, that experience will be a little diminished because I'm not going to sit here and monitor the chat window, or I'll be able to answer questions. So if somebody asks, that's why the speaker. So if somebody asks a question, I can answer that, but I would not be able to monitor a chat window, right? The second purpose is I record this and I post it online. And so you can review the lectures later on as many times as you need. Again, that's to accommodate a wide range of learning styles. Okay, a wide range of learning styles. Some people might, like just look at in the class once and they get stuff. I was like the student who need to like do it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times before it sunk into my brain. And so to accommodate those kind of learning styles, the lecture is posted online. It's posted on YouTube. You don't need a password. You don't need anything. You can simply bookmark the link from the front page, and it's a playlist. So I just keep adding videos to it after every class, right? Which is from here. The link is not yet live, but I will do so later this afternoon. That's where the lecture videos are. So from the front page, you see all these links. Syllabus is the same link that you see on the left. The syllabus link that you see on the left pane is the same as this one. Okay. Slides are all my PowerPoint PDF and PDF form. It's already available there. Again, the purpose is some students might learn better by downloading the slides, annotating them during class. Some students might want to print them out. It's absolutely fine with me. Whatever works for you, whether you want to like just follow along what I'm doing in class, or if you want to like print them out and write it on it, or if you want your own tablet and stylus you want to write on it, absolutely fine. Multiple options. Lecture videos, quizzes, self-explanatory later on. Class schedule is just the weekly schedule for the topics. Final exam is already on there. The final exam is on Monday, December 6th from 10 to 1 p.m. The complete Cal Poly final exam schedule is also on there. You can take a look at. It doesn't change much from quarter to quarter, so you should be familiar with how to figure out your class schedules, right? The reason I said location TBD is because sometimes some quarters I tend to have like common finals, and so that might be on the Saturday before finals week, right? So we have December 3rd is the last day of class. Common final will be on December 4th, which will be basically the Saturday after last day of class. This option will still be there. So Monday, December 6th is fixed. I cannot change it. Nobody can change it. It's there. Common final is to be determined. All right, so that's the final exam up front. Class schedule, again, as I said, it's just weekly technique, weekly schedules for the topics. Syllabus, right here. Got my undergrad degrees in India, electronics and telecommunication engineering, and then I came to Louisville, Kentucky for my PhD. There are specialized electronics and microchip fabrication techniques, semiconductor fabrication techniques. From there, I went to UCSB. I was a research scholar at UCSB for like a year and a half. And then September 2018, 3 years ago, I was offered the position of lecturer here in the department. And so I came here. I really enjoy teaching. I like being in the classroom. I do not like research as much. I put it out there. Research is very frustrating. There are some people who really enjoy doing it. I'm not one of those. I like being in the classroom, and so are most professors. They like being in the classroom. They like interacting with the students. They like talking to students, answering questions, stuff like that. So I enjoy doing that a lot. Now, when I was at Louisville, I picked up several years of teaching experience. I actually taught a class that's exactly the same as this one. I also used the same textbook. The textbook is now in its 7th edition, the same textbook that we are using. At that time, I was using the 3rd edition, like 3rd, 4th, and the 5th editions. And so I've used that textbook for quite a while. It's the same exact classroom. So I've taught the same class where you have students from like diverse fields coming together and learning about electrical engineering. Now, um, let's see. We meet in person every Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 11 to 12, right here in this classroom. Some classes, or prior to some classes, I will require students to watch short concept videos. So those videos might be like 5 minutes long, 6 minutes. At the most, they might be like 10 minutes long. They're not going to be longer than that. I'm not going to ask you to sit there and watch like a hour-long movie of just voices droning on and on. The short concept videos, you watch it before coming to class. Then we will discuss the topic in class. Further explanations. I will answer student questions, and then I will solve example problems in class. Okay, so it's not mostly, it's we meet every Monday, Wednesday, Friday in person 3 times a week, but there is some online component. So according to the university, if I was forced to choose and classify my class as something, then according to the 6 modalities that's listed on Cal Poly's website, I would be classifying this as in-person hybrid. But the hybrid, again, it's not really true, because a true hybrid class would actually substitute in-person time with online learning. And that's not what we are doing. Right? We don't substitute in-person. In-person is 3 hours a week, and we meet 3 hours a week in person, like a normal class. But there is some online component. So I personally believe we learned a lot of things last year, and we should keep the good things that we learned. And one of the good things that we learned about was how to actually record lectures, for future learning, how to broadcast it, medical absences. Previously, we would not be using Zoom. So if you had a medical absence, you would miss class, right? I mean, you'd have to learn on your own. You would have to answer questions. But now we have the technology. That's one good thing that we learned. So I like to like incorporate those things in my classes. Again, that goes back to like having a UDL design principle. 2 weeks ago, I came to this classroom, had an orientation, learned how everything works, which is kind of like easy to do. I set up the computer because it's a common shared computer, right? So I had to like log in, download everything that I needed to, spend like more than an hour getting everything ready and set up. And this morning I came in at 8:45 and nothing's there. Everything's gone. So I had to do everything all over again. So that's why I ran into some technical issues. Well, best laid plans and all of that. But typically what I would do is I would have a writing tablet here, and I would annotate my slides while I was teaching, while I'm teaching. And today it's, obviously I cannot, get it working, so no annotation. But anyway, the way I deliver or teach is by using OneNote, class notebook from OneNote. How many of you are familiar with OneNote? Nobody? Just few people? Okay. It's a very powerful software. It's a free, powerful software from Microsoft. Works on all operating systems, whether it's Windows, Mac OS, I believe, well, maybe not Linux. I don't know. iOS, Android. You have an app for across all operating systems. So very powerful software, very very effective at keeping a college student organized. Well, it's effective at keeping everyone organized, including me. So what I do is typically I have I have a fall 2021 quarter. I have like a notebook for that. So once I have my notebook, I have different sections in there: E201, E251, E346. Each individual class has that. And then whatever I need for 201, I have different pages, section 03, 04, 05. Keeps organized. And that's the point of having that. It's a virtual notebook. That software has been around for a long time. As a college student, is invaluable. Every class that you take every quarter, every professor has different rules, regulations, everything. So you just have like, every quarter you have like a new notebook and you define sections for every class. Every class would have a different page, all the rules, everything's in one place. Keeps you organized. But what I do is I use the class notebook feature to actually deliver the class material. And what it does is basically students sign up through the Canvas course. I already set it up. All you need to do is like click on the class notebook, either from the front page, which is right here, or on the left, which is up here. Okay, either one of those places, the same link. And you click on that and it takes you to OneNote. Now, again, my OneNote's not working here because, again, the system got messed up. So it's not working. But essentially what it does is I have my slides, I copied it in the class notebook. They're already available to you in the notebook itself. You cannot edit or annotate those slides itself, but any annotations or any notes I make at my end are automatically delivered to you in real time. And the point is that students usually take time during class to write notes, right? Make notes, make your own annotation and stuff. This way, you don't have to spend time doing as much note writing in class. I mean, you're still free to take your own notes, obviously, because you know what you need. You know better what you need to learn than anyone else. But the point is that any annotations I make, any notes I take, is already available to you at your end, and that's the biggest purpose of the class notebook. Again, it's another way of sending information out to students. Okay, so I would highly recommend that everyone signs up for the class notebook. All right, let's see. Class schedule, class notebook, lecture videos. Oh, Green Pass uploads. Does anyone have any questions about that or about anything else? Yes.
We didn't upload Green Pass today, but we have it. Should we just do it right now?
Anytime is fine. So I'm kind of like being lax today about that. So I would assume that everyone is either vaccinated, or if not vaccinated, then they're being tested every day. I mean, sorry, twice a week, I believe. I don't know what Cal Poly's procedure are. It's like two times or three times. So if vaccinated students don't need to test, but I'm vaccinated, but I still go and test like at least once a week, just because I have an unvaccinated 3-year-old at home. So I just test once a week myself, and that's at the University Union. Unvaccinated students go there and they get tested 2 or 3 times a week. The Green Pass is then, as everyone knows, is just a self-screening tool that you do every time, every day in the morning. So I would encourage, again, every one of you, even on days that you don't have a class, you just go online and just do that. I think the time switches over at like midnight or something, right? Midnight. So if you're like me, you'll be awake, after midnight every day. So sleepless nights are coming, right? So I'm usually awake around midnight. Some days like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. It just depends on what my schedules are. And then if you're awake at that time, you can go ahead and complete it then. All right, let's see. Office hours, communication policy. Email is the best way to get in touch with me. htrada@calpoly.edu. Okay, I'm not a millennial, but I still have my smartphone tied at my hip at all times. My email response time is very quick. 18 hours a week, I'm in actual class and lab. So my schedule is like right at the bottom of the page, right? So 18 hours a week, I'm in class. Obviously, while I'm teaching the lecture class, I would not be able to answer your emails. If I'm in a lab class, I have certain amount of time, like when I'm not guiding students, when I'm just observing students are working, I may be able to answer emails during those times, but outside of those times, I'm pretty much, if you send me an email, I'm very, very quick to respond within a few hours. So when you do send me an email, make sure you send it from your Cal Poly official Cal Poly email. The reason is it's an official verified email address that is tied to each and every one of you. Anybody can spoof a name and an email address, right? If you want, you can type up Hiren Trada 2009, Hiren Trada 2021. That does not mean that email address belongs to me. And similarly, anybody can spoof your name and create an email address and send me an email asking for some personal information, which if I send a personal information to a non-verified email address, somebody else now has information about you. And so that's the reason why we are required to ask students to send emails from Cal Poly email IDs. Okay, like somebody could spoof your email address, ask about your grades, ask about your performance, might ask what location you're in, something like that. So we don't want to get into legal trouble or loss of information on your side. When you do send me an email, make sure it's not 0305. That's an error on my part. 5. So in the subject line of your email, just make sure you have EE201-05. And what that does is two things. I have teaching three lecture classes, 36 students each, teaching 3 lab classes with 24 students each. You send me an email, I have to spend time figuring out which class you're talking about. Sometimes you might ask me, hey, what was my grade in this? Can you look at my performance? So if I have to spend time in there, it seems like a small thing at your end, but it makes a big difference at my end. You don't have to put anything else in your subject line. Just put in EE201-05. That's it. Because our filtering system is going to filter down. So 03 goes here, 04 goes here, 05 goes here, 346 goes in its own folder, and I can respond much more faster and more efficiently in such a manner. So please just make sure you do that. Do not use Canvas messaging. It causes me all sorts of issues. If you send me something on Canvas, I might probably look at it like a month later. So do not do that. Send me an email and I'll be very quick in answering. My office is in Engineering East, room 131, and that building is right here. A previous department chair was very fond of saying it's the geographic center of the campus, and it is in the shape of an E. And it's one of the oldest buildings on campus. And we as a faculty are kind of hesitant to move out of that building because it has more than 30,000 square feet of lab space. Very few universities in the nation, or in the world for that matter, have that amount of lab space. Hey, this building was built way back, I don't know, maybe 50, 60, 70 years, I guess. I don't even know all the history going way back. But we are very happy in that building. And if you're taking a lab and you come into the building, you'll see all the equipment's state of the art, brand new. The building itself might look old, but everything else in there is absolutely state of the art. So we are here, building 26, graphic arts, right? Right here somewhere, our classroom is. And electrical engineering E is right there. My office, 131, is like right here in that corner. And it's easy to find, okay? There are 5 entrances to the E. 1, 2, 3, and then 4, and then 5 the other way. So the entrance closest to Dexter Lawn is on the 2 entrances closest to Dexter Lawn. Those are the best places to enter the building for for my office if you're planning to come see me. Speaking of that, my office is a safe space for all students. It's welcoming for all students from all kinds of backgrounds, no matter what your personal professional is. Stop by to say hi anytime, whether it's for class, whether you just want some chocolate. Not the creepy old guy who lures kids with candy, but we do have chocolate for all students and visitors in our offices. So feel free to come by anytime you want. If you're just walking by, need a quick snack, it's absolutely fine. I have official office hours, but the official office hours just means that I'm guaranteed to be in the office during those times. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3. But I'm on campus every single day, 8:30 to 4:30 p.m. Okay. While I'm campus, I don't have any life. Well, I don't have a life outside of campus also. So if I'm inside, yeah, truly, I don't. If I am, you see this red mark here, which is basically if I'm doing some prep or lunch or something like that, or maybe I just want to take a nap. You know, but if the door's open, even if it's not open, you can knock and you can come on in. If you have a quick question, you can feel free to come on in. These office hours are just because the university requires us to post official office hours. So for my part, any time that I'm not in the classroom is an office hour. Okay. Here, all the way to 4:30. Um, here all day Thursday. Again, I'll be in the office. The only thing is my availability may fluctuate, meaning I may be outside my office. I may have walked to a different office. I might go to the department office, which is in a different building, doing some paperwork, maybe running some experiments, not research as much, but some research on the side. Uh, so availability may fluctuate. That's all. Other than that, the official office hours, I'm guaranteed to be inside the room. The other times, I may be wandering around. So again, the point is, you can have office hours anytime you want, whether in person or via Zoom. If you're feeling too lazy to come to the office, or if the time doesn't work for you, you want to see me you want to see me right here and you're off campus that day, or again, as I said, you're not close by, send me an email and we'll meet on Zoom. It's absolutely fine with me. Okay. I understand having fixed times does not work for everyone. So flexibility is the key. If you need me on a Saturday at 8 p.m., it's fine. Send me an email. I'm happy to meet you on a Saturday at 8 p.m. If it doesn't work for me, I'll let you know. Right? If it doesn't work for me, the most things I would do is basically grocery shopping. So Saturday nights, parting days are long gone. Anyway, so it's better to meet on Zoom with me for 5 minutes than running around in circles for like 30 minutes. So, and most questions are easy to answer over email. You send me an email and I cannot solve it via email, we'll just fix a time and meet up. All right, so let's see. Those are office hours. Uh, this should still work, but actually, no, I don't want to do that. I'm already in a meeting. But I'll have to take a look again at that meeting. Okay, so let's see. Syllabus, course information. Oh, textbook. Last meeting. Oh, course goals and learning outcomes. Yeah. So again, as I said, the course is designed with input from all of your departments put together, right? We have to collect input from all of your departments. They tell us what we need to teach you. This needs to be updated. If we take a look at New Bloom's taxonomy for learning, this verb is known as a deadly verb because it doesn't mean anything. Understand is, well, it's different to different people. So understand should not be on there. But again, this is exactly taken from the ABET syllabus for this course, and so I cannot unilaterally change that. Okay. Anyway, the point is, once you get done with this class, after completing the course, you will be able to analyze DC circuits, analyze AC circuits, and then let me use the word analyze natural and forced response of RL, RC, and RLC. This is not as sinister as the word sounds, I promise you that. Not understand, but analyze average power factor three-phase circuits. Most of this does not make much sense at the beginning of the quarter, but it'll start making sense as we go along in the quarter, obviously. Major topics covered are listed right here. We typically are able to cover all the way up to topic 9, 10, 11, and 12. Depends on how much time we have left at the end of the quarter. The first few weeks, you can see numbers 1, 2, and 3 are about 3 weeks each. Sorry, not 3 weeks each. Total of 3 weeks, right? 8 and 1, 9 classes. So 3 weeks. But in my experience from the past years, it would take you about 3.5 to 4 weeks. So the first 3 points, which is basically listing about DC analysis, will take about a month, so to speak. But again, I will go as fast or as slow as students need. Let's see what else. Textbook. Okay. So the textbook that I use is Hambley, Alan Hambley, 7th edition currently. I've been using it since it was in its 3rd edition. It's not just me. This is department approved, department mandated and approved. And it's specifically written for non-EE majors. It's a very good book. It has principles approaching, has examples and stuff which approaches from the point of view of the non-EE student. Now, the book is optional, but I use Pearson's Mastering Engineering System for the online homework. So each and every student is required to purchase their individual access code for the homework. So the book is optional, but the access code is not. Now I understand it's an additional financial burden. The access code costs $65 from Pearson. It's not cheap, of course. But I've been negotiated with them trying to get the prices down, but the most they would come down to was 52. I want to come up with a way where I do not have to use this right now, but it involves it. It will take me years to actually implement something like that. So anyway, the access code, if you purchase it through the Canvas system, which is linked to the Pearson system, is $52. But I make sure it's worth your while. Okay, it's worth your value. Homework counts for a massive 40% of your overall grade. Okay, it's a massive 40%. Again, keeping UDL principles in mind, there are certain things in the homework that are unique. There are 20 homework assignments spread throughout the quarter. So you will work hard for the entire quarter. But if you miss 1 or 2 homework assignments, or if you end up like not doing so well on one, which again makes my next point, which is it'll be very hard to do bad on the homework. The only way you would do bad on the homework is if you do not do it at all. Okay, so there are about 20 homework assignments for the quarter, and you have to do each and every single one of them. So it's easy to get a good grade on the quarter. I mean, in the course. But if you don't do the homework, it'll be very hard to get a good grade. That's the flip side of it because it's a massive 40%, right? Quizzes. Okay, the another good news is there are no midterm exams in my classes. There are no exams. The only thing I have is quizzes, but it's a series of quizzes every single Monday. So 9 weeks, we have 9 quizzes every single Monday. The point is that you will learn during the week, you'll do your homework. Some homework will be due during the weekday. Some homework assignments would be due on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. You would study over the weekend, 1 or 2 topics, and you come on Monday and you give the quiz. And that way you're spread out. You're not studying or cramming all at once. You're spreading the work out. I do not drop anything. Okay, everything is mandatory. Meaning if you mess up a quiz here and there, because it's a long series of quizzes, it's not messing up your entire grade, but you'd have to work hard for every single week to actually get a really good grade in the class. Okay, so 40% homework, 40% quizzes, and then 20% for the final exam, 100%. And since we are on the point of grades, so let's go ahead and look at that. I'll come back to the homework and the textbook in just a little while. So homework 40%, quizzes 40%, final exam 20%. Then there's a 1 point extra credit applies to your overall grade. That's for evaluation response rate. And I will talk more about that as we get to the end of the quarter. Now, the homework itself is split into 2 parts, 30% for the online homework system, 10% for your uploads. And so the point is, if you have ever used the online system, it's basically data entry. Okay, so you do your work, let's say it's 2 plus 2, then you enter the answer 4 in the system, right? Makes sense? But obviously, if somebody gives you the answer, you can submit the answer without doing any work, which is not fair to students who are actually doing the work. To make it fair and equitable to everyone, you will work on the homework as a normal paper-based assignment. Whether you do it on paper or whether you do it on a electronic device, is fine. You can do it on an iPad, you can do it on a Microsoft Surface, doesn't really matter where you do it. If you do it on paper, you scan and you upload the PDF. If you do it on an iPad, of course, you convert it and you print it as a PDF and you upload it. All these uploads count for 10% of your overall grade. So the homework is split 30% online system and 10% PDF submissions. The PDF submissions do not have any deadlines. Okay. But the point, I mean, the expectation is that you would submit or upload the PDFs the day the homework was due. Now, all the homework assignments have a deadline and it'll show up on your Canvas. So the way I've set it up is I have my Canvas, I logged into my Pearson account. A Pearson account is right here, which is Mastering Engineering. I set up the homework assignment in the class on Mastering Engineering, and now it's linked to Canvas. So you can do the homework on Pearson's Mastering Engineering after you set it up, or you can access it directly inside Canvas also. It works both ways. Okay. Um, but you have to go through Canvas. Do not go outside of Canvas directly and register. It will cost you $65 and your grades are not going to be synced. Okay, it's because it is set up from inside Canvas, the grades are automatically pulled into Canvas. It's like a one-way street. Any changes I make here are conveyed to Canvas. It does not go the other way around. So your grades that you earn here are automatically shown in your Canvas. So you can see how you're doing as the quarter progresses. Okay, as we go along in the quarter, you'll be able to track your performance based on the homework and everything. Now, the homework submissions, as I said, they are more to keep everything fair. So I will go through them, but I'm not going to individually grade each and every problem. And I will take a look at the PDFs that you have submitted, the work that you have submitted, make sure everybody's doing the work and not just copying. When you submit it, you will see, let's go student view. So your attestation form and the green pass uploads for every single class, everything is dated. So it's going to show up here. You can see homework 1, homework 2, 03, 04, everything is there. I do need to change some things, but your undated assignment submissions do not have a due date. So they're going to be way at the bottom of the list. Okay, so I don't want students coming back later and telling me that it didn't show up in my list, and that's why I didn't submit it until the end of the quarter. The expectation is you will work on the day. Once you submit your homework, you'll scan and upload it at the same time. If it's a few hours late or later in the day at midnight, it's fine, but do not make it like a week late, right? Hope that makes sense. All right, any questions so far? Okay, let's leave student view. All right, so that much for assignment. Nothing's optional, everything's mandatory. Standard plus minus grading system A through F. 90s is an A, 80 is a B, 70 is a C, and 60 is a D. I pretty much went through this, quizzes, no choice. Please make sure that you read through all of this. It doesn't take that long. So just in case you have questions, I can answer them, but please make sure before you send me an email about a question, read through the points that I've listed. Going back to the homework, all right? So the book itself, now I'm going to go off the record. So the book package is sold at Cal Poly Bookstore. It costs about $106.50. The book package gives you the physical copy of the book. It gives you the online e-text, and it gives you the access code. If you feel that you need the book and you want that, that's your personal option. It's available in the bookstore. Otherwise, you simply purchase the access code to the Canvas system. And you sign up for Pearson's system through Canvas, not outside of it. Otherwise, it's going to cause issues. Okay. All right. Let's see. Two more other things about homework. So it's again UDL principles, grading for equity. You have the maximum number of attempts that you need to actually get your answers correct. Okay, the system allows me to set it maximum limit of 30. So you have 30 attempts to get your answers correct. Now, to be fair to the students who get the answers right the first time, there's a small deduction of 3% for every attempt you make. That means even if you take 30 attempts to get your answer correct, you'll end up still earning like 13%. But nobody sticks around beyond like attempts 12 or 14. And most students give up after like 2 attempts and request the answer. If you stick out 30 attempts, wow, that's amazing. I've never seen that happen. The most I've seen a student do is like 12 or 13 attempts. After that, they would just say request answer. But you do have 30 attempts to get it right. Okay. I would suggest if you go beyond 10 attempts, send me an email. There's something going on. So again, the homework has that. Then another important thing, I have extra credit problems throughout the homework. Each and every homework assignment has extra credit problems. Those homework problems are completely optional. They are tutorials and video solutions. The same rules apply to those also, but you do not have to do those if you don't want to. Those are there for students who say, students who feel that they need more learning, right? If they need to shore up their fundamentals. So that kind of thing. So some students might need some extra steps. Like I was that kind of student. I would need to learn a little bit more than other students to actually reinforce the material. So it's extra work, but I reward you for doing that extra work in the form of extra credit. And that extra credit carries on all the way to your final overall grade. So as an example, let's say homework 1 is worth 25 points, and there's 5 points of extra credit on there. If you lose 3 points in the homework, you're now down to 22 out of 25, right? 3 points gone. But if you do your extra credit problems and you get that entire 5 points, now you've earned 22 plus 5, 27. So now you have 27 points out of 25. Those 2 extra points from that homework are carried forward to your overall homework grade. So it's possible that you would end up with more than 40% at the end of the quarter. You could end up with 41, you could end up with 42, even 43%. And those 3 extra percentage points, I will carry it forward to your overall grade. Okay. So if you lose few points in your quizzes, you lose few points in your exam, on your final exam, you can offset those losses by doing the extra work, and you get those credit carried forward. Well, carried forward. Okay. Again, that's another example of UDL. Just wanted to point that out. One other thing about deadline. So before synchronization, now it's integrated, and so as I said, any changes I make here, any due dates I implement here in mastering is going to show up in Canvas. Your grades are going to show up in Canvas, so you can monitor your performance. The deadlines, they do not send you any notification, right? But it shows up on your Canvas calendar. You just saw it, right? I mean, every assignment that had a date showed up in the list when you arrange it by dates. So it's going to send you, it's not going to send you notification, but it's going to show up in your assignment list. And so it's up to you, it's up to each and individual student to keep track of when an assignment is due. Sometimes I might change assignments. I'll mention it in class that the due date has changed, but you may not always receive an email from me. So it's up to you to monitor that. Now, due dates are part and parcel of everyday life, right? If a homework takes only 30 minutes to do, I may as well just say, okay, class ends at 12, you submit your homework at 12:30, right? Why do you need more time? Well, we need more time because students have a lot of things going on. Everyone has a lot of things going on. So we have other classes, we have work commitments, we have family, family obligations. There's lots of things, eat, sleep, rest, lots of things going on. We have to factor all of that in there. And instead of giving 30 minutes, we now give you like 3 days. So homework is assigned. Once I finish the topic in class, you consider the homework is assigned. And then you have 3 days to do a particular homework. Do not wait until the last minute to begin the homework, because all of my homework is due at midnight on the day, 11:59 p.m. All of it. And students, invariably, there'll always be some students who will wait until 11 p.m. At night to begin, and the system has gone into maintenance. And then I would receive an email. Well, the reason we give you 3 days is to account for everything. You might lose electricity, you might lose internet, system might be down for maintenance. All of those are taken into account and into consideration before we decide that it's going to be 3 days or 4 days or 2 days or whatever. So the point is, do not wait until the last minute to actually begin your assignment. Begin as soon as possible as you can. I mean, obviously you can wait until the last minute to submit it, but start as early as you can. All right, questions? Any questions? Zoom option, as I said earlier, is yes. So you sign up through Canvas, and when you go through Canvas, it's automatically going to show up. So when you click on My Lab and Mastering, It's already linked to my course on mastering, and well, there's some sort of issues going on. I'm not really certain. Has anyone tried to sign up yet? Were you able to sign up? Oh, okay. Almost. But are you able to see all the homework assignments in there? Oh, okay. Okay. And so there should be a 2-week free trial. So if you're debating whether to continue with the class, you want to drop out or something, if you Wednesday or Friday, you think you might want to drop out, there's a 2-week free trial, 2 weeks free trial that's available. I think. Was the trial available to you? Do you know? Oh, okay. So, okay, just what. So I think even before students purchase it, it does say, I just want to have a trial. I'll purchase it later or something. But when you purchase it, so short up as 52. Okay, thank you. I just need to make sure that works through this tab. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone does. So what else was I saying? Yeah. So you only have to sign up inside. So if you go outside and sign up to Pearson, it'll be 65. So don't do that. You go through Canvas. Okay. And then it should automatically link your account, and all the homework assignments should show up directly over there. Okay. We will end class here today, and I will see you all on Wednesday. If you have any questions, I'm around.